לא לגמרי יבש.
Hello, I'm Eran Solomon. Today's lesson is about Gimatria, the numeric value of letters. First of all, let's talk about the technique. 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and we use their numeric values for paging. There are books, especially Kodesh books, which do not have numbers at all, but letters, and the Gemara of course is all the pages are numbered by letters, Daf Hey, Daf Vav, etc., etc. And there are other purposes for this, but let's talk about the technique first. So we have the letters of the alphabet, and Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel is 3, Dalet is 4, Hey is 5, Vav is 6, Zayin is 7, Chet is 8, Tet is 9, and Yud is 10. Now the next letter, Kaf, that's not 11, but 20. If we want to do 11, we use Yud and Aleph. Yud and Aleph is 11. And then we have, okay, I'll write it here. And then we have Yud and Bet for 12, etc. I would like to make a note about the number 15, which was supposed to be Yud and Hey, but because it is the first two letters of the Hebrew of the name of Hashem, we don't use it just like that in paging and etc. So we don't use Yud and Hey. By the way, that's a link of this lesson, which I thought was not going to talk about the parasha at all. This is a link to the parasha because in our parasha there is a verse which from that verse we learn prohibition to erase the name of Hashem wherever it is written. So if we write Yud and Hey, say on a page we wouldn't be able to erase it, and we have to, and it will be only in clean places, etc. So we don't use Yud and Hey when we come to number 15. We use Tet Vav. Tet and Vav, that amounts to 15 too. And most of us use also the 16 also. We don't use Yud Vav because again it's two letters from the Shem of Shem Havaya, Shem Hashem, the name of Hashem. So we use the Zayin. There are people who use Yud Vav sometimes because it's not in the order like in the name of Hashem, etc. And then we come to Yutet, which is 19, and then we come to Kaf. Kaf is 20, and from here begin all the tens. So Kaf is 20, Lamed is 30, Mem is 40, Nun is 50, Samech is 60, Ayin is 70. See, I won't have enough board for what I want to do afterwards. We'll see. Pei is 80, and Tzadi is 90. That's it. And again, if we want to say 51, we don't. Well, Kuf is not 91, but Kuf is 100. So if we want to write the number for 51 in Gimatria, we would use Nun Aleph. For example, Nun Aleph, Nun which is 50, and with Aleph that's 51, for example. Okay, so Tzadi is 90, and then we have the last letters of the alphabet: Kuf, Reish, Shin, and Taf, and that will be the hundreds, because Kuf is 100, Reish is 200, Shin is 300, and Taf is 400. That's about it. It stops here. We could have continued up to 900 using the otiyot sofiyot, the final letters, the letters which in Hebrew appear only in the end of a word. And sometimes we do this, but it's not common practice. Usually we stop here. So, for example, if we want to talk about the number 613, which is the number of the mitzvot, we don't use one of the sofiot. We say taryag. Taryag, taf, reish. Taf is 400, reish is 200, so 16, and yud gimel is 13. Taryag mitzvot 613 mitzvot. Okay, so that's the technique. That's the basic technique. There are more things to say about this, and there are certain orders of the alphabet, but it's not in this short lesson, which is going to be, I think, longer than usual. I will stop here. So that's about the technique. But what do we use, except for things like mundane things like paging books? What do we use Gimatria, the numeric values of letters, for? What do we use them? So I'll give you two examples. Basically, what we do is linking. We link words which have the same Gimatria, the same numeric value. We link together. We believe in Judaism, and it's common practice again, that when two words have the same numeric value, they have some connection in their meaning also. And I'll give two examples, and here I think I will erase this board. One second. We're live, so no choice. Okay, let's start. We all know that man was created in the image of God. B'tselem Elokim asa et Adam. Man was created like an image, like some reflection of Hashem. Now let us look at the word of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, as it is written with its what is called milui, with its filling. What do I mean? I mean that I don't write just Yud. I write the Yud as it is, as a word Yud, which means Yud, Vav, Daled. Yud, Vav, Daled is the way I write the word Yud. Usually we use only the initials for writing, but the word itself with its filling. This is called the filling, the milui. The Vav, Daled. Yeah, that's the word with its filling. So we write Yud, and then we write Hey. Hey, we don't write it as just as a Hey, but as a Hey Aleph. That's the common way to write the word Hey. Sometimes we write it Hey Yud, and sometimes Hey Hey, but the most common way to write it is Hey Aleph. And Vav, we write it not just as Vav Vav, but as Vav Aleph Vav. And then again Hey. And that's the name of Hashem as it's written fully, with its filling. Let's see what Gimatria this is. If you're not practicing this, it will be perhaps a little difficult, but I'll help you. So, Yud is 10, Vav is 6, Dalet is 4, together, Vav and Dalet 10, with 10, that's 20. Hey is 5, Aleph is 1, so that's 6. Vav is, Vav and Vav, 2 times 6 is 12, with another Aleph, that's 13. And Hey Aleph again, 6. Let's add that up. 20 plus 6 plus 13 plus 6 amounts to 45. Now, 45 is the exact Gimatria of the word Adam. Okay? So, man was in the image of God, created in the image of God. We have the numeric translation, the Kabbalistic translation of that, and that goes much more. That's more meaningful than many words. The exact Gimatria of Shem Hashem, as it is written with its filling, is Adam. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing, which is actually like a complementary to this, is about nature. What is nature? Nature, we know that it's like a set of rules with which the world operates automatically, like an autopilot. But we know, as believers, that it's not really true, because there is no real nature. Everything is controlled every split second by what is supernatural, but what is beyond nature. So let's look at the words, at the letters and the numeric values of the word hateva. What is hateva? Hateva. Hateva is the nature. Let's see what it amounts to. Hateva. Hey is 5. Tet is 9. Bet is 2. Ayin is 70. Add that up, you get 86. Don't you? 86 is exactly the Gimatria of the word Elokim. 86. So, what we see, that there's no real nature, or the nature, the real nature of things is just God. Hashem is behind all this, and nothing works on autopilot. So, you see all these things, it really strengthens you. It really gives you faith, strengthens your faith. But I want to say, there are people that say that all this is rubbish. I have a good friend who is really non-religious. He is really, I would say, anti-religious, but he's a good friend. And he showed me some example in Gimatria that you could twist it and do whatever you want with it. I'll give you several examples. Donald Trump in Gimatria. I don't have the strength now to do the calculation. Do it yourself, and you see that it's exactly 424. Donald Trump, you have to write it with no aleph here or with no aleph here, whatever you wish. And it's both spellings are legitimate in Hebrew. Donald Trump is 424. The exact Gimatria of Mashiach ben David is 424. Wow! What does that mean? Does that mean that Donald Trump is a forebringer of the Mashiach? Now, someone pointed out that Chatzi Mana Falafel is also exactly 424. Oh, So what does it mean? That Donald Trump is half a portion of falafel? Or does that mean, even worse, that Mashiach ben David is half a portion of falafel? And that guy, that friend that I told you about, he pointed to me that the exact Gimatria of the word emunah in Hebrew is the exact Gimatria of the word for excrement in Hebrew. So you can twist it however you want. You can find some terrible Gimatrias also, which will bring you the opposite direction of what is called faith. So what do we do with this? Now, I think this should not intimidate us at all. I do think Gimatria helps in faith a lot. But indeed, as the saying goes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Lately, I've looked a little deeper into a thing which for a long time I've been hearing about, and that's the quantum theory. That part of physics which comes very, very close to religion, which is really the really modern physics of today. And there they found out scientifically that what we call l'être, the existence, the being, is not as absolute as we think, and the point of view, the way you look at things, the way people look at things, really affect what there is in the world. and from this you can understand how prayer works and how belief works and how thinking good about things is very important. So it's exactly like this, and it should not surprise us. Of course, we can find very evil combinations with the letters, but it's up to us. It depends on our point of view, on what we try and seek. And if we seek the good things, then we affect, and we really affect the world. It is, I think, as Jews, it is really our obligation, it is our task to find good combinations, to find the combinations which prove the existence of God, and faith, and strengthen in faith. But of course, if you want to look at it otherwise, and if you want to look at it through the eyes of the Sitra Achra, of the other side, as we call it, the dark side, you will come to evil things. That's no, it should, and it should be like that. Why do I say this? Because if Gimatriot, if this thing about the letters would be something which is perfect, something which is really absolute, there would be no free choice left. I will prove to you in 3-4 Gimatriot, 3-4 numerical values that there is Hashem in the world, and you could sit back and all our task of struggling to be faithful and to remain believing will just poof, disappear in the air. So that's really a little thing about Gimatria, and your questions are most welcome. I also remind you that I talked about this in some lesson before, that I will be very pleased to have chats with you also on Skype, and some limud on Skype for anyone who wishes. So just give me a call, and any questions about Gimatria, any questions about any ideas for this lesson actually was requested by one of our viewers. So any other any other ideas for things you want to hear from me about Judaism, about the Chagim, you're most welcome. So may it be a good Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, and goodbye.